Salut, c'est Mathieu de Ludovox et aujourd'hui nous sommes sur le stand de Modiphiüs Games à la GenCon avec Chris l'éditeur. Hi Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine, how are you doing?
I'm slowly fading, but it's still good. We're having a great time.
We're all fading, but we're all having fun.
Exactly, yeah, I can't complain at all.
So you're here with a game which is called Thunderbirds. Can you tell us about it?
So it's based on a big British TV show from the 1960s that was made with puppets. If you've seen Team America, you'll know what I mean. Cool models, great sets, and these kind of crazy puppets. And it's about a rich family who invent these amazing Thunderbirds rescue machines, and they travel around the world rescuing people from terrible disasters. So the game recreates the story of the TV series. So you are playing one of the Tracy brothers, one of the Thunderbirds, or what's called International Rescue Organization. And you each have one of the incredible Thunderbirds machines, like a giant transport, Thunderbird 2, Thunderbird 3, which is basically can go into space, Thunderbird 1, which is a super fast jet that can fly around the world, Thunderbird 4, submarine, Thunderbird 5, space station that picks up all the news. And then you've got Lady Penelope, who's in her Fab 1, beautiful Rolls Royce. She's like the head of the secret agency. So you've each got a character with some different abilities, and you plan your turns together to try and stop the Hood, who's like a villain who's intent on destroying International Rescue. He wants all the secrets of their technology.
So it's a cooperative game.
Yeah, it's a cooperative game. You play together, and you're trying to defeat his schemes. He's got 3 schemes. And you know what one of them is. You know that you've got to collect, for, in this case, a number of bonus tokens in geostationary orbit. So what you've got to do is work to defeat the disasters. And you start with 3 disasters that are land, sea, air, and space. And every turn they're slowly moving down the track. And if they get to the end, you lose. If the Hood moves down his track, you lose. So you're under a lot of pressure, and it's all about rescuing people. So it's all kind of ideas from the show, like Day of Disaster, which is about a giant space probe going to Mars that collapses off a bridge and sinks into the water. So you've got to rescue it, and it's very simple rules. I guess it's a little bit more complex than Pandemic. It's not a pandemic type game. There's a lot more moving parts to it. It's great for a sort of cooperative team building atmosphere. It's really fun. I call it like a geek mum and dad game because Thunderbirds is this thing that parents introduce it to their kids. The kids grow up and introduce it to their kids. It just keeps going because it's really cool. Even though it's like 50 years old, it's the 50th anniversary this year. People still love it, and it's the same idea with the game. It's a really gamer's game, but you can play it with your family as well.
So how many players can play Thunderbirds?
Between 1 and 4. So you can play solo, or you can play up to 4. But we do have an expansion coming which turns the Hood, who is like a kind of the cooperative game mechanic against you, into another player. So he becomes like the arch villain, and he's got minions and various ways of making your life hell.
So 1 to 5.
Yeah, 1 to 5 if you get the expansion.
Well, what's the duration of the game?
Well, I lost in 5 minutes when I first played. We say like 45 minutes to 60 minutes. So it can take a bit longer. It can be a lot quicker if you lose, things can move so quick if you're not kind of planning where you're going to go together to solve the disasters. It can be over really fast.
And what about the events? Are they always negative for the players?
So basically, the Hood moves when you roll. You've got Thunderbirds dice, so they've each got a number from one of the Thunderbirds on up to 5. But if you roll a 6, you get a Hood, and the Hood symbol moves the Hood down the track, which is how he activates his events. And the events are generally bad, like Thunderbird 2 now has a top speed of only 1 instead of 2 until someone fixes it. And the Hood also moves with disaster cards get drawn, and you get oh, there's none of them here. You get a Hood. Here you go. You get a Hood advances, and that doesn't move the mission card, the disaster cards, but it does move the hood. So there's lots of ways for him to move as well. So you're kind of constantly like thinking, what should we do next? And you've also got Thunderbird 2 is well known. It had the pod vehicles, which are these really amazing little rescue machines. Yeah, we even give you a top to the ship, so if you just want it to look cool. But we have the pod vehicles that you have to create and invent, and they get created, and then you can carry them around in the ship. And having the different pod vehicles gives you bonuses for the different disasters. So again, it's a kind of mixture of which ones should we make, where are you going to take them. It's a real juggling act.
It sounds very asymmetric in the player's powers, because for example the limo just moves one square and the plane moves three.
Thunderbird 1 can get anywhere on the board in one action, but Lady Penelope in Fab 1 has to move very slowly. But there's a lot of missions in Europe, and she can create certain bonus tokens every turn and swap them for any other bonus token. So she can get pretty much any bonus token she needs. Whereas Virgil, one of the characters, see, they've each got different abilities. Virgil has a bonus to land rescues, and the missions are really easy, right? So let's say we're trying to deal with the edge of impact. It's got an 8 or more on 2 dice. Remember, the 2 dice can only roll up to 5 each. So, we didn't really well. So the hood just moved. But if I've got Scott, he's got +2 to air rescues. This is an air mission. If I had gone there in Thunderbird 1, now this is in Europe. Now, if I'd brought Alan with me, and you just swap the characters around. If I brought Alan with me, I would have got a +2 for Alan as well. So there's ways of helping you mitigate the risk of the dice roll. So, yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did it. So I get that, and I can take one bonus token of my choice. Okay. Some of them give you a specific one. So if we had completed Day of Disaster, I would have got I always forget the names for these. I get a determination token, which gives me an extra action if I want it. And I get a teamwork token, which gives me a +2 to a dice roll. So in this case, if I had one of these tokens and I didn't roll enough, like let's say I needed a 10, so I could go, okay, I've got enough. But I also need these to complete the schemes, and the schemes get progressively harder. So like at this point, I need 4 determination tokens and 2 intelligence. The 4 need to be in Mercury, so someone's getting up to Mercury in Thunderbird 3. It's the only ship that can go into space. Someone else has got to get to Asia with 2 intelligence tokens. So, you're constantly thinking, and you don't know what these are until you've completed the first one. Then you get to turn over the next one. So again, you're constantly under pressure as the hood is trying to complete his scheme before you've beaten it. So.
Well, yeah, I think it's pretty clear to me.
Fab cards, of course, you always need a get out of jail card. So in a turn, you can draw a fab card, and fab cards are like, here we go, move any one Thunderbird machine and all characters in it to Tracy Island, which is where you're usually swapping ships. And so that's a real bonus to you. But you take one of these, you move the hood. There's always a cost.
Risk-taking.
It is. It's all about risks, this game.
Well, I can see how is it going. Is it released yet?
No, it's coming out in October.
For Essen, then?
We're going to be at Essen. And we've got a big party at Essen on the Friday night. So if you're at Essen, come to the Modiphiüs booth and you get a ticket to our Thunderbirds launch party.
Well, thank you very much for this overview of the game. We're excited to play it, actually. And we'll see each other at Essen. Thanks. Cheers, à bientôt sur Ludovox.